How could it be her? Staring at Natasha Harmon stepping onto the stage, Dahlia was completely stunned. Her beautiful face was filled with shock. She had dreamed of meeting Miss Harmon for so long, but never did she expect that the woman she'd been butting heads with all this time was the very same person. Mom! Isn't that the vixen? How did she get on stage? James' eyes widened in disbelief. Florence was equally stunned, her mouth agape and her lips trembling. She's Miss Harmon? She couldn't believe it. The woman she had seen as a seductress was actually the daughter of the prestigious Harmon family. Why is it her? Chris Nolan felt as if he'd been struck by lightning. His face turned as pale as a sheet, his eyes filled with disbelief. He never would have guessed that the woman always by Dustin's side was actually the Steel Queen of Swinton's business world, an untouchable figure at the top. Thinking about all the things he'd said and done before, cold sweat poured down his back. What now? It looked like he had already offended Natasha Harmon. Chris, you've met the Steel Queen before? Jeff Anderson immediately noticed something was off. I've seen her, and well, we didn't exactly part on good terms. Chris swallowed hard, visibly nervous. You actually dared offend the Steel Queen? You've got guts. Jeff gave him a thumbs up, but with a look of schadenfreude. Natasha didn't rise to the top by being soft-hearted. Jeff, please. I didn't know who she was. Could you maybe say a few good words for me later? Chris suddenly panicked, grabbing Jeff's hand. Sorry, Chris. This is out of my hands. You're on your own. Jeff shook him off and turned to leave. He wasn't about to offend Natasha Harmon for the sake of a nobody. That would be suicidal. It's over. Chris stared after Jeff's cold retreating figure, his face ashen. If Natasha was gracious and let it slide, he might be fine. But if she chose to retaliate, a single word from her could make him disappear from the business world. Meanwhile, elsewhere below the stage, Master Lawson, didn't you say Natasha Harmon was poisoned and would have to come begging for help? Then why is she perfectly fine right now? Edwin Hummer's expression grew darker and darker as he looked at the elegant figure on stage. This is strange, she shouldn't have been able to withstand it. Could someone have cured her? Master Lawson narrowed his eyes in surprise. Humph. And here I thought your poison was said to be incurable? Edwin said unhappily. He had suspected something was wrong the moment he received the invitation. And now, seeing Natasha perfectly fine meant all his scheming had failed. Mr. Hummer, there are always exceptions. My poison is definitely beyond the skill of regular doctors. Unless someone extraordinary intervened. Master Lawson rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Someone extraordinary? Who? Did you notice that young man who stood beside her earlier? Master Lawson pointed at Dustin. You mean he's the one? Edwin squinted. Exactly. His movements are steady, and his energy is calm and long-lasting. He's clearly well-trained. Master Lawson nodded. He's that hard to deal with? Edwin looked again, unimpressed. To him, Dustin looked like nothing more than a pretty boy. He's just an ant, not worth worrying about. Master Lawson said confidently. Good. Then get rid of him soon. I don't want any more surprises. Rest assured, Mr. Hummer. With my 2 disciples he won't survive the night. Master Lawson smiled faintly and took out his phone to send a message. On stage, in stark contrast to the stir below, Natasha Harmon remained composed and unshaken. First of all, welcome, everyone, to the grand opening ceremony of our new company. Natasha stood with a microphone, scanning the audience. Her calm yet commanding presence, paired with her cool gaze, made her look every bit the queen that ruled over all. As you all know, the Harmon family has taken on a new business partner, and starting today, part of the Harmon family's business will be handed over to this new partner. She paused to sweep her gaze across the room again before speaking. I believe many of you are curious to know who this partner is. Well then, let me reveal the answer. Please give a warm round of applause to welcome Miss Dahlia to the stage. As Natasha led the applause, thunderous clapping filled the venue. Dahlia! It's your turn! Florence nudged her gently. Dahlia came back to her senses like someone waking from a dream. Despite being shocked by Natasha's identity, she had no other choice now. Taking a deep breath, she composed herself and walked onto the stage as if nothing had happened. Wow! Another stunning beauty? We're really blessed today, 2 absolute goddesses, each with their own style. I'd trade 10 years of my life to be with them both. Damn! What kind of man is worthy of either one of them? As Dahlia stepped onto the stage, the venue buzzed with excitement. If Natasha Harmon had already captured everyone's attention, then Dahlia's arrival took the atmosphere to a fever pitch. Two stunning women on stage at once. It was a rare and unforgettable sight. Miss Dahlia, we meet again. Natasha extended her hand with a smile that carried deeper meaning. I never imagined you were the chairwoman of the Harmon Group. Dahlia politely shook her hand, though her gaze was complicated. In hindsight, she should have guessed it sooner. With her last name, her stunning looks, and the way she carried herself, and the fact she had appeared at the charity gala just days ago, who else could she be? But back then, her emotions clouded her judgment. Or maybe, she simply didn't want to believe Dustin had ties to someone from such a powerful family. Well, better late than never, Natasha smiled. Oh, by the way, don't we still have a bet to settle? Yes, we do. Dahlia nodded calmly. Do you still think you can win? Natasha raised her chin challengingly. If Miss Harmon doesn't intervene, I still believe I can. Dahlia's eyes were firm, unwavering. She had always seen Natasha as the one to chase, and now that they met like this, she was ready for a real challenge. Don't worry, Miss Dahlia. I won't help him. He doesn't need my help. In fact, he's far more exceptional than either of us. Natasha smiled. Love is blind, I see. Maybe that saying is true. Dahlia returned the smile faintly. Seems like you don't believe me. In that case, let's wait and see. Natasha smiled without further explanation. One day, Dahlia would understand, but by then, it might already be too late for regrets.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime. Love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care. Now they're echoes in the air. I still see